Hey, Armand here with your forecast for the week of July 7th, 2025. It's the forecast to end all forecasts. And what a week there is. Oh my gosh, what a week there is. We start the week on the 7th with Uranus going into Gemini. You can check out the Uranus and Gemini video to see more about that. But if you haven't already seen it, that is. And that's a that's a process that's going to last for about 7 years. But keep your eye open on the 7th when Uranus actually goes into Gemini, and even maybe the days before and after, but especially maybe the days before. These things tend to cast their shadow before them. See what happens in the world of technology, communication, and things like that. See where things are going. It'll give you a hint about one area of the next 7 years and see where things are headed with that. So it's just good when a planet ingresses into a sign to just see what's going on that day. Gives you, like I said, it's not the whole story. It's not even part of the story. It's just a little indicator. It's a flagship. It's a little trumpet blowing the announcement type of thing. Okay, that's one thing. Then we get to the 10th. Now, the 10th, let me see, that ought to be Thursday. And on the 10th, we have the Capricorn full moon. Full moons are fun. Full moon in the summertime should be fun. Even Thursday should be okay. In the sign of Capricorn, things are a little serious. This is kind of like the mid-year moon. This is the mid-year moon. At the other side of the year, down in December, you wind up, or sometimes January, you wind up with the Cancer full moon near the Capricorn solstice. This time around, you get the Capricorn full moon just after the Cancer solstice. Um, let's call this the mid-year reckoning. This is the mid-year reckoning. Technically, the middle of the year was on July 2nd, but let's call this the mid-year reckoning. Time to think about, all things to do with Capricornian matters of collectively government and institutions, personally having to do with work and career and things like that. Maybe you're sitting at the beach and you're thinking about these things at the full moon. That'd be fine. But that's kind of what the energy of this full moon is. There's a little bit of productivity that is associated with that, not all fun and games. And that makes sense too, because Saturn, the ruler of Capricorn, is stationing to retrograde, right? Right? Yeah, stationing to retrograde. Sometimes they go direct and they just say stationing to retrograde. Saturn is stationing to retrograde on the 13th, that's Sunday. And that means that the energy of Capricorn is going to prevail essentially from Thursday all the way through Sunday or even the following Monday. And the feel of that is one of work. And it's particularly when we get to the weekend, you'd like to have a good time at the weekend and it's a Saturn station. Well, in my experience, you can have a good time on a Saturn station. Take care of the work that needs to be done first. That's one strategy. You want to take care of the work that needs to be done before you go off to have a good time. So if you're supposed to clean up the garage or something along those lines, then you want to take care of that and then try to go have some fun. Do be aware that it seems like around Saturn stations, people's immunity gets a little bit depressed, and maybe as a result of that, things start going around. Usually minor illnesses, not a big deal. It's a little bit of the sniffles or something like that. But who wants that in the summertime? Of course, if you're watching from Australia and it's the wintertime, well, then I guess it makes a little bit more sense for you. Still, you don't want to get the sniffles. You want to take care of yourself around a Saturn station. See, you got the high energy of the full moon, and then you get the Saturn station, a lot of Capricornian stuff going on. Tone it down a little bit. Don't push yourself too far. Don't push yourself too hard with things. You want to instead take kind of a bit of like a little bit of a breather kind of thing. Work and take care of what needs to be taken care of. Don't push too hard. You don't have to finish work. You take care of what needs to be done. You finish the work for the day, but you don't have to complete the project if it takes you a little bit longer or something like that. That's to be expected around a Saturn station. There'll be some delays. There may be some pressure on you. Those of you at work on Friday or Saturday might feel a little extra pressure to get things completed in a decent amount of time and all that, or but somebody else's idea of a decent amount of time. And you might have to comply with that and do what you can do. But don't wear yourself down. You want to work and complete things without draining yourself, without bringing your level of energy way, way down. So it's a very Capricornian, very Saturnian kind of week. And yet it begins in a very Uranian fashion with Uranus moving into Gemini. Very interesting to see what happens with all of that. For those of you that are interested, if anybody's interested, Juno, the partnership asteroid, will be stationing to go direct, ending her retrograde in Scorpio. And that would seem, especially with all of this Capricornian deadline kind of energy out there, that relationships that are at a tipping point might get a bit of a tip at this point. Juno and Scorpio inclined to hold on, squeeze the last little juice out of things. But that Capricornian energy, particularly at the full moon, may get things to pop a little bit. Again, it's only if you're in a relationship and it's only if you're at a tipping point in it, and it could tip either way. So, not good or bad energy. It's just what's there. Okay. Well, is that the forecast to end all forecasts? I don't know. But I'll tell you this, it's the forecast to end all of my forecasts. After 6 years of doing weekly forecasts and some years, I mean, I opened up the channel in 2010 and started doing astrology videos regularly around 2011 or so. Um, at that time, it was like monthly forecasts and stuff like that, and some sort of evergreen thing. You'd be surprised how many people watch my thing on Pluto and Virgo generation. Anyways, after numerous years of doing these things, I am wrapping it all up and saying goodbye to YouTube and to you and these forecasts. Uh, I opened up the channel mostly with the idea, well, I had the idea of sort of promoting some of my books, and it was good for getting lectures, like speaking jobs and stuff like that, because people could see how I presented, and apparently it's not awful. And so that was a thing for a while. I thought maybe I would get some clients, not a lot of you. Get most of my clients from other sources, but okay. And yeah, but it was fun to do them. It was fun to do them. Except, what's happened is that my little brand of, astrology light, Friday's the better night to go out on the weekend and, work through the beginning of the week. I don't know how relevant it is anymore, Thursday night's a good night to go out with coworkers. By the way, Thursday night would be a nice night to go out with coworkers this week. Um, but I don't know how relevant that is anymore. I don't know how relevant that is. If YouTube is anywhere near close on the demographics of people who watch this channel, I don't think that stuff has a lot of relevance to many of you. And if you do, you can get it someplace else. It was fun to do for a long time, and I appreciate the positive feedback and all of that. But yeah, I don't know that a light attitude, sort of upbeat type of thing is all that convincing anymore. And I certainly don't, is not my thing. I don't want to get into the whole, contentious socio-political thing and all of that. There's a lot to say about that astrologically, but anytime I make any statement about that, it's almost certain to be misinterpreted by everybody which which means either that people are projecting their stuff onto me or I'm just unclear. Either way, I don't really want to get into that business either. So this is it for Integral Astrology on YouTube. And if you follow me on Facebook, that's wrapping up right soon too. I think I'll give a post for Uranus and Gemini and the week ahead for next week, and then that's gone. I will, of course, still be seeing clients, and you can sign up for my newsletter at armanddiaz.com. That'll be the only thing in the comments section. And I send out a monthly newsletter, so it's not like awful. Just send me an email. Just go to my website, send me an email, and I'll put you on the list over there. And if you want a personal reading, that's fine. I'm not disappearing from the world of astrology. I've just had it with social media. Those of you that are following through and know enough astrology, Uranus square to my midheaven. I actually started doing weekly forecasts with Uranus trying to my midheaven, and now it's square, and that's interesting, right? Um, so yeah, so I mean, I'm also on Evolve Plus, which is a great app. It is run by psychic medium John Edward, and there's great stuff on there, including, once in a while a video from me, but also regular posts. You got to pay $5 a month for that, though. I don't know. That's you're gonna miss me. I don't know if you're gonna miss me that much. And right. And I'm on Blue Sky. I think I've garnered 177 followers. I'm not trying very hard. I had many on Twitter, thousands, 8,000 or so on Twitter. So just don't have it in me to try to pump that social media well anymore. So this is it. Thank you all for watching. Thanks you for all the nice compliments. Thank you especially to Sylvia, who hasn't commented in a while, but she's commented on my wardrobe in a positive way twice, which nobody in history has ever done before on social media or otherwise. And thanks to just thanks to everybody. Thanks to Spooky Eyes and Shelley and to Pat and oh my gosh, maybe I'll put some thanks in the credit, but I'm going to leave people out and then I'm going to feel bad. Thank you all. It's been kind of fun. And you got the idea already anyway, right? Approach any situation with as much compassion and awareness as you can possibly muster. Understand that other people are more or less just like you. And if they're having a crappy day, give them their space. If you're having a crappy day, take some space for yourself. Try to be nice. Don't take anything too seriously if you can possibly avoid it. If you're really getting hot under the collar about something, it's either really, really tragic or it's you just misperceiving it. You don't really need much astrology for that, right? You don't really need much astrology for that. It's good, it's helpful, have a little forecast and stuff like that. You don't really need it. You'll be fine.